Alright, welcome back to Vulkan Incorporated, where we're at the launch base, the second level. I kind of started this intending to comment through the WAD of my own, and then something dreadful happened which put it on hold for a bit, but I've reconciled the two things by donating to my own cause and saying, okay, I'll give you this money to continue through this level at least. This was the first level that I wrote for the WAD, and it'll probably show in some cases. You'll see a lot of that default brown tannish star texture. This room it underwent some evolution because I made most of Vulkan assuming that the player would not be able to jump, and then at the last minute I was reading around forums and seeing that people actually get really frustrated at WADs that don't let you jump, so I allowed jumping and quickly altered a lot of the level to make up for it, but I still left loads of loopholes and it didn't really work. So Vulkan 1.5, you're not allowed to jump again, and that's the way it's going to stay. Alright, let's head down here. Another army of scientists to get through. There's a secret around here that can help you with this bit, but I'm going to ignore it. I might show you it later, but I don't think I'll pick it up. This was the first room I made for this. I remember just being in GZ Doom Builder, or probably Doom Builder 2 at that point, and putting those three windows together, and then realizing I could lower the floor to make this sort of pit, and then opened it up to the sky, and it became a sort of rocket launch pad, distributed crates around it, forgetting that the rule of game design, where if you put a crate in, you've run out of imagination already. Then I noticed that you could put platforms above platforms with the 3D floors, and it all just spiraled from there. So yeah, you'll see a lot of this default texture. Of course, what I've done now is I've included all the free Doom resources for with the Vulkan Inc. WAD. So thank you, Free Doom Project, and that makes the walls look a bit less default than they otherwise would. Alright, it's a sort of weird sort of lift here. I noticed that you could do floor and ceiling raise and lower together, so that's what that came off that. And now there's a bit of an outside section where you shotgun those, and that attracts the attention of the bouncy barrel of really lost souls. Originally, at this part, you had to go all the way around that sort of cliff top area and down and into this entrance, but I decided it kind of broke up the map a bit too much, so you're just left with this smaller pathway here before you get into the main building again. Alright, I've increased the size of this area a bit since the first release of Vulkan, because it was kind of a boring corridor that just went one direction. I've also removed some of the custom enemies and made the enemy library more consistent. There used to be a load of rapid fire marines, I think they're called, from Realm 667, and a couple of others as well. Zombie Commando, what's it called? I can't remember, but Henchman, that was its name, with the 9mm gun. But I removed all of those. Started experimenting with dynamic lights here, where I had the blue glow, and in the revision, the 1.5, I've actually spread a lot more dynamic lights around. Alright, so, main entrance to this room, whatever it is locked, so we're going to have to go around the side. Here's another area where that screen's meant to distract you. It is, of course, it's simulation of a DOS 4GW error, which is the terror of the DOS gaming era, as far as I'm concerned. Alright, so there's another shotgun for us. And a little cage sort of area, implying that they're growing these creatures, or they're growing accidentally, and they're just caging them to keep them safe from the outside world, and so that their power drilling operation won't be shut down by a health inspector. Okay, so let's go into this room. Oh, okay. I'm gonna just run through here. This room was a lot more unpleasant in the previous revisions. because you're meant to just run through that gauntlet there and get to the other side. There used to be a lot more enemies in there. This door wasn't as fast as that before, so it's kind of trapped you in a room full of hit-scan enemies, which I decided was not a good thing to do. Alright, so we're on this side. We can get the yellow key. We could drop down and get the gold Vulkan there, but there seems to be a secret over there. Another ammo pouch. How do we get to that? How do we get to that? Well, this wall looks a bit strange. There you go. I try to make secret walls slightly obvious in having a seam, because that there's only half a detail there, but I always worry that my texturing is not good enough the rest of the map, and sometimes I'll just put a seam that wasn't meant to be there. Alright, so let's go over here and drop down there, and we've got better ammo capacity once again. Having done that, this lift activates, so we can take that up again and we don't have to go all the way around each time. I'm not entirely sure if I've made that obvious, because I often forget it's there personally. So I tried adding this light pulsing effect in the hope that that might attract some attention. Alright, you might hear a door opening when I cross this line. There's something in there, if you're fast enough to get it, but I'll reveal what that is at a later date. Alright, this little monster closet's opened. The monsters didn't come out on that occasion, but now we've got the yellow key and we can venture through here. Alright, there's a trench here, which always makes dealing with even quite weak monsters difficult when they have the high ground. Alright. Yeah, that's a texturing mistake, isn't it? Yeah, it's a secret. Alright, and I hadn't mentioned before the arrival of this new enemy, the headless zombie scientist, and they have a bit of a unique behaviour to them. So if I get rid of him, you'll see that, understandably, he can't really aim all that well, and he chooses a general direction and then adds some random angles to it. But if you touch him, he'll spot you, and then he'll do this devastating Uzi attack. But you can kind of keep him locked by moving around. So don't get close to them, but they're harmless from a distance unless they're lucky. One of the other things that people doing videos found challenging about them was that because they don't have a head, you instinctively go for the headshot, and it's just not there. Alright, kind of computery area here. I love how the brutal Doom base has all the light smashing and everything. It makes things feel really reactive. I'm just going to chuck a grenade over there. Alright. Some more computers and stuff. I'm not really sure what this room's for. There's some out-of-bounds scenery over here if you care to look. There's some lava being extracted or something. Don't ask me, I'm not a scientist. Let's stick with this, actually. Okay. I think this was the first place where I learned that you could use ramps in Z Doom, and proceeded to go absolutely mad with them from then on. Alright, look, some inviting health. Oh no! Alright, some coins up there. We could do with those. And I think we've just about exhausted this room of its secrets. And here's some more trouble. Another wall opening up, leading you back to a previous area in the map. I don't know what this machine is either, but it's a nice bit of detail. I did love the look of computers that bulge outwards in a wall that sticks out like that, having a panel in that, and the way that looks. Here's another scrolling computer. Those are done, you'll see those for quite a lot of the time throughout, but those are done by having one texture that's a static texture behind it, of course, and then one map pixel forward of it. The transparent texture with the graph is just scrolling past. So that means you just have to draw the graph computer once, and then you can stick any kind of graph or readout on top of it that you like. Alright, so now we're up on the other side of the main room. Well, actually, let me not do that for now, and instead jump over there, and balance carefully around and press that switch, which will give me access to the armor. Can't take it, because I've already got better armor than it gives me, but the thought's there. That was the first time, by the way, the platform that I just took down that's beyond that door, that was the first time when I realised I really needed to playtest a player going back and forward through the level instead of just going forwards all the time. Because initially, you'd raise that platform, you couldn't take it down again, so you couldn't get back up if you decided to fall down. Alright. So, we have fought our way through another bit of the base, whatever this is. There's a dark room beyond there. We can press that switch, and gradually the lights come on. Unfortunately, that's distracted you from a horde of monsters behind you. Okay, but quite generous with the health here to make up for it. So it looks like we're heading into a big set of concrete cylinders, sort of ignition rocket storage silos. I don't know what they are, just leave me alone. And we've got some scientists to take care of, and that attracts the attention of some lost souls again. So I like that the Brutal Doom shotgun makes short work of lost souls. I think I can't remember if this is something I did in BD Light or if it was in Brutal Doom already, but the lost souls of health, of course, has been significantly reduced, so they're a bit less of a slog to fight. Oh, that was impressive, wasn't it? Alright. I thought I put a minigun down here, but I must have taken it out in the name of balance. Alright. There's a switch that raises half those bars, there's a switch that lowers the other bars, and we're on our way again. We've got the red key card, but the red door down there never needs to be opened because at that moment some imps come in. Alright. What else can I do here? Like I said before, you can take the long way around again. I'll grab some shells while I'm at it. But you can also use this lift here to get up the faster way. So let's go into the computer room that we sort of skirted round before. And there's plenty of hit-scanning enemies to make our life difficult here. Alright, and this time we can just open the yellow door and we can go to the exit. But do we want to do that when there's obviously something we've missed over here? Well, if you looked carefully when you were down there, in between being shot, or you crept around here, you'll see a switch on the back of there. That'll give you access to the other side. Let's get some Vulcoins, and we've got more trouble. Whoops. Not very good at my own game, you'll notice. Alright. I think this room was textured completely differently in the first version. It was just more star tan. But it's been made a bit more interesting. Alright, look at this! Here's another health pickup. What does that do? It increases our maximum health, meaning that I can now hold 115 health without using the little health upgrades or the soul sphere and so on. Originally that was 25, but if you got all of them, then you'd be 200 max health by the end, and nothing would kill you ever, so I nerfed that a bit in the final release. Vulkans again, and it looks like we're approaching the exit. The exit, except there's a bit of a seam on this wall. Can you see it on the stream? I hope so. It looks like I've just been careless with it, but of course that's how we get the last monster and the last couple of Vulkans. If I'd found the 5 Vulkan kind that I've missed somewhere in the level, but we'll leave it there for now. That was the second level, V1M2 launch base. And I'll see you next time!